Hi, everybody. My name's Carl Krenzel. I'm an associate broker, investor, and realtor over at Realty Executives Tucson Elite here in Tucson, Arizona. And I'm also a podcaster at theredpillinvestor.com. And I'd like to say thank you for joining me today on this very quick little webinar about the top 10 dangers future realtors face. Now, I'm going to just keep this very quick and brief, but basically what this is about is a report that recently came out from the National Association of Realtors recently. They commissioned a study. They sent some folks to go out and find out what were some of the things that were going to be game changers for realtors and agents and brokers and brokerages and companies throughout the United States. And their report was shocking. I got to be honest with you, it made a lot of people very, very angry in the National Association of Realtors community. And the reason why was because a lot of the things that came out of the D.A.N.G.E.R report, quite frankly, well, they just weren't that flattering. So what I thought I would go with you today, and I thought I would share with you the top 10 things that I found in this report that are of use to you as a realtor who is considering starting out your real estate business, to either as an investor or just a realtor yourself, or you're just looking to try and make more business. Then these are the top things I think that you need to know from this report. Now, I put them in 10, so it's very easy for you. So you know if it's really awful, you know how close we are to the end. And then of course, if it's really good, then how much more important certain points are. So we're going to start off with what I would consider to be the least dangerous, the least likely thing to happen, and we're going to work all the way up to number 1, which is what I consider to be the most pressing issue about real estate today. So if you've got a couple minutes, then let's just go ahead and jump right in. Now, when we're talking about danger, okay, especially this report, they themselves quantify it in a specific way. It's a question of probability. Now, they gave things a certain order of probability, as in 100% chance, yes, it's going to happen within, say, 100, say a year. And if it does, what kind of impact is it going to have? And what kind of danger do these certain things pose for you? Now, if you've not read the 166-page report as I have, well, then trust me, it's an eye-opener. But really what it boils down to are 3 things: probability, timing, and then of course the impact it's going to have on your business. So let's just go ahead and go through them all together. Now, coming up at number 10, one of the least likely things, well, it would be considered to be the agent themselves are removed from the transaction. Now, this is unlikely altogether, but I think it's important that we have to recognize that certain technological companies are making a lot of inroads when it comes to listing, selling properties, having agents work for them, Redfin, things of that nature. And so it's not really all that hard for us to accept the probability, or at least the possibility, that a tech company could in fact crack the code, so to speak, and connect enough of the dots to really start to conduct real estate transactions without really the need of an agent, other than maybe somebody of a more transactional nature. We can see this in examples of other industries. It's impossible to say that it can't happen to us. I mean, we can certainly see how it's affected the taxi cab industry through Uber. We can certainly see how it's happened to attorneys through LegalZoom. So it's not really improbable for us to say that it can't really happen. The reality of why this has happened is because of the agent centricity that we've had for so many years. This could be our downfall because everything is all about us. Many times, if you just take us out of it, that could be a big problem. The 9th danger, as I see coming on the horizon for agents and investors in the future, well, it really boils down to commissions. Commissions concentrating into fewer hands. Now, if you're like me, I've been in this business 19 years, and I can tell you I have seen this. I have seen this time and time and time again, where a very small group of, very efficient, very selective, effective agents, they really go out and they discover a winning formula for themselves, and then they secure a disproportionate market share. This is called, in plain language, Pareto's principle. Now, you may think Pareto's principle, well, that's nothing new. I've heard that before. Well, that's certainly true. But the thing that you may not think about is that Pareto's principle also applies to the top producers, even the top of the top. Perry Marshall, we needed an examination of the Pareto principle. He took it really to the next level. He said, check it out. This could be expanded to the top 20% of the 20%. Which means really 64% of the deals that you're doing are really being done by 4% of the practitioners in your marketplace. 64% of the transactions in your marketplace being done by 4% of the agents themselves. We don't need more agents. We just need better ones. Next, the commoditization of real estate in residential terms. Listen, there's got to be a huge disconnect with the residential realtor today and the world they're seeing. You've got to start to see that there's a problem. When you start a lot of companies start to concentrate their home ownership, they start getting, these investors start getting large swatches of properties under their own control. Well, they can really commoditize a market very, very quickly, and that can affect you as an agent in many ways. For example, when you think about Blackstone owning 43,000 homes, they're the largest residential real estate investment trust in the United States. When you think about it, they own 43,000 transactions. So when they own a large number like that, they have the ability to really place a large number of these homes that they have on the market at the same time, if that's what they choose. And that can depress values. The reality is Wall Street's really just discovered this constant stream of income, and because they start to go ahead and explore these ideas of partial home ownership through timeshares, etc., and the right to use the home, well, there's a lot more flexibility on the horizon. Quite frankly, it's been estimated that this represents a $1.5 trillion business. $1.5 trillion. You gotta know Wall Street and some of these other companies are going to be interested. The next danger? Now, I think this is highly unlikely, but it is a possibility. When you start thinking about our mortgage-backed securities, housing finance itself, there is a possibility that it could be nationalized. When you think about mortgage-backed securities and the problems that they created as a method of financing, it practically killed our country. It was very crippling. So due to new regulations through the Consumer Financial Protection Board and all these other places, it may be a place where you could see in the future where it's just simply too risky for them to start making a lot of crazy loans, and now to start to find where financing is more nationalized, where you start to see Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, things of that nature taking over. The sixth danger? This agent-centric era really ending. I know this is sad for many of you to kind of think about because you're just getting into the business, but when you think about it, this agent-centric idea of you being in charge and in the middle of everything, well, to be quite honest with you, it's kind of going out of vogue. In order for you to do a lot of transactions or to do multiple transactions or help multiple families, you've got to be able to delegate and you got to be able to decentralize your business. And honestly, companies on Wall Street, big companies, they understand this. And unfortunately, agents and MLSs, well, we are the last ones to know. See, technology is simply evolving. That's just the way it is. There's very little we can do. And as agents, we're not. Our companies aren't. Our MLSs aren't. Our IDX feeds aren't. We're talking about a lot of things that we wish could happen. Oh, I don't agree with this, or I don't agree with that, or my board's doing this, or my board's... Listen, it's not as simple as that anymore. Technology is changing, and quite frankly, many of us just don't have the resources, the will, or quite frankly, the want to go ahead and start giving our associations money that we've earned and have them squander it on useless programs. Danger number 5, the relevancy of the agents themselves. As an agent who's been in this for 19 years, I got to be honest with you, I really don't think there's ever going to become a time where there will never be real estate agents. I always believe that there will be. But the relevancy that you're having, well, you have to be blind if you aren't noticing that you're ceasing to become relevant in many discussions. the role, the function, the hell, even the perceived value that you have as an agent. Okay, that starts to deteriorate very, very quickly because you fail to properly assess and respond to the consumer need. They want a buyer. They want a seller. They want their home sold. They don't want to have to go through a listing. They don't want to have to go through the hassle of everything. They just want to get the end result. To put it another way, they want the baby, not the labor. See, it's really time for us to clearly define the value proposition as a realtor. What do you bring to the equation? That's the fundamental question. In order for you to remain viable as a prospective realtor, as a person who can help a customer, as a person who can help a consumer, you have to have a clearly defined value proposition. And I'm not talking about all these cheap slogans that we tell ourselves. I'll sell your home in 30 days or I'll buy it. Or, list with me or I'll sell it free. I mean, whatever. Or I'll give you a microwave or a trip or whatever it is we do. That's not a unique value proposition. That's a gimmick. What we need to do is show the customer this is what we bring. Danger number 4. It's starting to get a little bit more serious because as we cross number 5, we're getting into the area where we're starting to talk about a greater than even chance, better than 60% of these things happening within the next 1 to 3 years. The probability is very, very high. And when we're thinking about the probability, the danger that goes along with it, immense. So danger number 4, the IRS forces the exodus of independent contractors. Now, as far-fetched as this seems, it's actually possible. When you think about it, studies have shown, and this danger report shows very clearly that an IRS ruling, although improbable, if they reclassify the legal status of real estate agents from independent contractors to employees, guess what? Brokers across the country are going to think twice about hiring people. They're going to think 3 times before keeping deadwood on the shelves. Let's just be honest. When you think about, as improbable as it is, when you've got companies like Redfin coming in with their agents have already been many times challenged, their employee status challenged by the local boards. And when you think about it, the criteria used by the Supreme Court to really determine some of these cases, if they were actually an independent contractor, was did the broker there have control over them? Is there investments that they did or whatever, right? Well, what kind of profit or loss is determined by the employer? All of these things are actually determined, and believe it or not, because of the internet, because of all the mass stuff that we've been doing, changing our industry and disrupting the way we have, we're forging new ground even legally. And when you think about it, it's not all that improbable. Within the next 3 to 5 years, you could potentially have a significantly different tax status. And if that's the case, man, that's going to change a lot in our business. Could you imagine if no other broker agreed to hire a part-time agent? I mean, let's just be honest. Part-time agents are a huge risk to our future. I'm not going to lie. They are a huge risk. Why? Because they just simply do not take the time many times to go ahead and improve their skills and improve their status and go ahead and make themselves better. It's not their fault. It's just they just generally can't afford it. And if that happens, things are going to change. Danger number 3, you probably see this. You probably see this in your real life. You probably see this in your real business right now where you work. Agent teams, honestly, they threaten the survival of the brokerages themselves. Enormous teams really threaten the survival of brokerages themselves. And I can speak from this experience. I've owned part of a company. I've been part owner of a company before, and I know what that's like. Teams can cannibalize a brokerage company by siphoning off all their profits, all their resources, and their people, leaving them exposed to all the risk. Let's just be honest. As a team leader, I've done that myself. I've gone ahead and pulled people and put them into my team, and I've siphoned off the profits. I made the profits off that, and my company had to make a small fee off every agent and every transaction. They're not making a lot of money off that. So when your dad's broke, guess what? You're going to have a problem. But if your dad ain't broke, you'll never go hungry. And part of the problem with the modern real estate as we see it today is these huge teams are making killings for the team leaders themselves, but for the brokerages themselves, they are exposed. This probably will not last in its current form for much longer. Next, commission spiraling downwards. Maybe you've already felt this in your business. Maybe you've already felt that place where people have started to question why they should use you. Maybe you yourself have been questioning why you should use you. When you think about it, if you're a agent who represents buyers, how really are you different than, say, a Uber driver? I mean, you carry them here, you carry them there, you open up a door, there. With any good luck, you've got some skills and you know how to go to negotiate property. You know how to fill out a contract properly. You know how to go in and negotiate on behalf of the buyer and save them some money. If you know how to do that, then hey, guess what? You've got a skill. But if you don't have a lot of skill and you're just kind of driving around hoping that people are going to say yes, well, guess what? Your value is under attack. And it's only going to get worse. And there's a variety of powerful forces amongst us that exert this significant downward pressure. It's not just the market. It's other players in the market. I mean, when you think about it, consumers themselves are really starting to go out and find more property for themselves. They want to get into this alternate solution. This do-it-yourself is huge, and a growing new generation of brokers and agents all around your company and all around your city are exploring a ton of ways to go ahead and do business and do profit and to help people. So many times I think what we're finding out is that this concept of a flat fee commission or a straight commission or a commission of some sort many times is becoming hard to justify. When you think about it, there's just too many agents that really are not worthy. They're just not worthy of the Realtor brand. Here's the first danger. This has, in my opinion, a 100% chance of happening within the next year to 3 years, and it has a 100% chance of affecting you. First danger, especially agreed to by D.A.N.G.E.R, the National Association of Realtors report, masses, enormous amounts, masses of marginal agents destroying your reputation. Listen, the modern real estate industry, people who are out there practicing like you and me right now, we are saddlebagged, strapped down to the core with large numbers of part-time, untrained, unethical, and incompetent people. That's the truth. You know it, and I know it. We've said it for years. And this knowledge gap threatens the very credibility that you have. It's these massive amounts of marginalized, non-compliant, non-trained, unethical, and incompetent agents that will end up destroying your business. They even put it pretty well in the D.A.N.G.E.R report. He said, I don't like lawyers, but I rarely work with an incompetent one. When you think about it, you could probably agree with that. You may not like lawyers, but you'll never work with an incompetent one. Now, you may like a lot of real estate agents, but there's just so many incompetent ones. The reason why our incompetence is so bad, it's because it's impossibly low standards to get into this business. It is impossibly low. When you think about it, to be a cosmetologist, in many places it takes you over 370 hours. To be an engineer, an appraiser, something like that, it requires you thousands of hours. For a realtor's license in some states, it costs, 13 hours. And you can sometimes get somebody to do it for you online. People do that. It is impossibly low to get in. And this is a clarion call. The reason why I wanted to bring this to your attention was because this is a clarion call for you. If you want to make more money, if you want to sell more homes, if you want to have the life of your dreams, then you've got to understand these 10 factors will affect your ability to do that in the coming few years. Like it or not, that's just the way it is. So who am I? Well, again, my name's Carl Krenzel. My podcast, The Red Pill Investor, has over 440 episodes. What it is designed to do is to help you, to give you the sales skills that you need for free, to teach you the things you need to know so you can go out into the marketplace and take advantage of this great season. My blog, 10-Minute Skill, it's got a lot of resources, including scriptsandskills.com and a lot of other blog posts and articles to help you go ahead and create a sales business for yourself that is predictable and duplicatable and repeatable. My community, the Red Pill Investor community, on Facebook has over 2,100 committed professionals. They're realtors, they're investors, they're people of all stripes and sizes from all across the country who are designed to go out and do one thing. They want to go out and sell more homes and help more customers get what they want. That's what we do. I'm having for you the Prospecting Academy in response to the D.A.N.G.E.R report. This is my reply to the National Association of Realtors' call to action to train agents, to train people to become better in sales, to become better in the industry, to become the ethical professional salespeople that you deserve to be. In the Prospecting Academy, all we're going to talk about is lead generation and conversion. That's it. Lead conversion and lead generation for the realtor or the investor of the future. What the training basically covers, well, in lead generation, what we're really talking about are sales skills for real estate transactions. If you're a realtor, you want to take more listings, I can help you with that. It's not my preference. I prefer you to go ahead and start doing wholesale and investment on your own. But if you want to go ahead and use these skills to go ahead and take listings, you could certainly do that. If you want to take these lead skills and learn how to convert them into real estate sales, well, we're going to cover that. Gone are the days where you're getting the lead, frustrated on the phone, you don't know what to say, and you can't get them on paper. These sales techniques will help you generate leads, convert them, and get more prospects on paper. Let's just be honest. If you are a realtor, okay, you are one step away from a new player changing your entire business. So what's really important for you, it seems, is to learn the skills that will help you create more business in less time, more predictably, and free. You don't have to spend a bunch of money to learn how to do it. You don't have to spend a bunch of money to create the deals. But what the Prospecting Academy does cover, well, it covers 8 weeks of comprehensive lead generation skills, lead training, lead follow-up, and lead conversion training. We're going to teach you how to price property quickly. I'm going to teach you how to make appointments quickly, as well as make presentations, and all the skills you need to be successful repeatedly. Now, classes are going to start soon. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go ahead and just click the button right there and let me know if you'd like to go ahead and set up a private appointment. If you have questions about the Prospecting Academy and you'd like to get more information, then by all means, click the button right there, let me know, and let's talk. And let's see what we can do to help prevent any of these 10 things happening to you. Thank you so much for paying attention, and have a powerful sales day. Bye-bye.